Okay, so then we start marking off underneath each toe. And when you follow this map, then this allows you to make sure that you're not missing any important points. So really, no matter what philosophy of reflexology you're following, which if you notice, a lot of the maps don't match up. They're kind of all different. But if you follow a grid like this, then it will make sure that you're not missing any points. And then you just kind of like follow a routine. And when you hit a sore spot, you spend extra time on it. But this ensures that you hit all the spots so that you find all the sore spots. Having an organized mapping out of the foot. All right, so we're warming everything up here. Just using the tie stick to warm things up. And get all the zones warmed up as well. Now, on your own foot, even if you're not a massage therapist, of course you can stretch your own foot. But if you do not have a massage license, stretching would not be within your scope of practice. If all you're doing is reflexology and you do not have some sort of a license, a state license to go along with that, then stretching and actual massaging would be out of your scope of practice. But see how I'm doing this along this is the spinal reflexes, and because it's pushing, that would be fine. And in order to not hurt your thumbs, you want to keep them close to your hand, and then you're not using the muscle of your thumb, you're actually just pressing with your whole hand. And this is a way to save your hands. So each section you're going to go through it 3 times. Now we're going to start with the toes. And in the toes, all of the toes, you have the sinus reflexes. You also have pituitary and thyroid. The big toe is sort of like the master plan of this, but the little toes also affect the head, the brain, the sinuses, the pituitary, and the thyroid is in the neck of your toes. And you want to do each toe 3 times. And you're doing like a pincher technique. And there's really like no way to do this without using the muscles of your hands for the toe part, because you have to sort of pinch to get both sides. And then you want to get on the neck part of your big toe there. It's very important for helping the neck release and getting all of the little brain parts. And about this point, I like to go use a tool again. And I'm holding the back of the toe, right? So I'm still getting the back pressure, but then I'm using my tie stick to push along the points of the big toe and the neck of the toe. And you're going to go over each section 3 times. And as with all parts of the foot, when you pay attention to how it feels, and working on yourself is a really good way to feel what it feels like to be on the other side of the service, but also you can feel with your hand. So when you find a sore spot, feel what that feels like, and then you'll be able to recognize it with your hands, and you won't be just like dependent on the person to tell you. And you can go over it with your thumb in a safe way, like I was showing you, with it tucked next to your hand, and so the movement comes from your wrist. And you can do that as a diagnostic activity, and then if you find a spot, you can actually do the treatment with your tool to save yourself so that your career can last longer, because blowing out the thumbs is a big thing with people not having good body mechanics in reflexology. And the traditional thumb walking is actually pretty hard on a lot of people's thumbs. So we're doing each of these points 3 times. And this whole reflex, the area we're at now, affects the lungs. But then like the ball of the foot was the bronchi, thymus, heart, where where the little lump of the foot at the top, that is where your bronchi, thymus, and heart is. So now we're going in that middle top section, and that includes your solar plexus is the top of it, and then your adrenals are right in the arch, as well as the pancreas and kidneys. And the gallbladder is kind of like almost right smack in the middle there. So not this one, but the next section contains the gallbladder. Right there. It's your gallbladder. So it's almost in the middle, but a little lateral. And now the liver is over here in this section. All right, 3 times there. Now the bottom middle section, we have the stomach is in here, the colon is in this area, the ureter, and on the, if this was your, let's see, your right foot. Yeah, this is with the right foot. So with the right foot, this would also be the small intestine in this section right here. So on the left foot, on the bottom lateral heel, you have the appendix. And on the right foot, you have the small intestine up in that area I was telling you about. So there's some things that are different depending on which foot you're on. Okay, so this bottom area that we're in is traditionally, in almost every school of thought, your sciatic and your lower back is going to be in this area. And it's very interesting because even though it's tough and it is easier to get at with a tool, it's also tender. So check in with your client and make sure that it isn't too much pressure for them. Because the last thing you want is anyone to be in pain during a reflexology session, because their body will go into defensive mode, and it's very hard to get any kind of healing done if their body has decided that you're a threat. So you do not want somebody's body to reject your healing because they're viewing you as a threat. And that is why causing pain is unnecessary and actually does not help. And now I'm showing you another tool that I have. So you can use the scraping side, and you can actually feel if there's any kind of fascia adhesions with this, which isn't technically reflexology, but is good to catch foot pain. And if there is a fascia restriction, oftentimes it does go along with a reflexology problem as well. Now this is considered massage, so this is something that you could do on yourself if you are not a licensed massage therapist, but you cannot do it obviously on a client. But this tool, this movement right here is a reflex. You can do this movement so without a license, you can do the pressure points like this. You can do jostling, just wiggling it back and forth. Like a jostling vibration is okay to do, but you cannot actually do like rubbing. So you can do pushing, pulling, jostling, and that's pretty much all you can do as a only reflexologist without any other licenses. I was just showing you some good tools that I have that I like to use. Here's another view of Bill Flacco's chart, and this is another chart. Okay. I think I'm going to take away that whole first part.